Hello, welcome everyone. I am here with another Power Pack session of legal current affairs, and we'll be discussing very few legal current affairs because that's all we have. How are you all? Please let me know. Am I perfectly visible and audible to you all? Hello, everyone. Am I perfectly visible and audible to you all? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Starting with the first topic that we will be dealing would be that Supreme Court has referred the industry definition to nine-judge bench. And what do you mean by an industry? They are defining into the same. Uh, Hello, hello, hello. Hi. So yeah. So what is the context behind the same? We really need to know and understand that. We need to understand what is the significance of the same. We need to understand what is the impact that is happening because of the same, right? So if we talk about what Supreme Court is actually doing, is that if a factory which is so what is a word known as factory here, and why they are referring to that is basically if a factory manufactures goods, suppose it's an industry. Okay, so also, but with respect to Indian labor law, the definition of industry changes under Industrial Disputes Act of 1947 and goes far beyond that factories. Okay, it is a more comprehensive kind of a definition, and it determines basically whether an establishment or a hospital or a school or a club or a government office is subject to stringent labor dispute laws. Okay, and now here the problem that arose was with respect to different courts all across the India, and they are actually answering this question very differently. Okay, so some high courts actually were saying, okay, educational institutions are not are industries. Also, others have been saying they are not. Some smaller benches, Supreme Court smaller benches have reached conflicting conclusions, and this has been very inconsistent. And it is certainly very uncertain with respect to the employers, the employees, and the HR. Okay. So now what Supreme Court has did is that to resolve all this, that what should be called as an industry, Supreme Court has actually referred a nine-judge constitutional bench, and this would be given to nine special judges where they will be binding on all courts in India, and what their they will be coming up with the major set of the definition that they are going to come up with. Also, um, here majorly the private school matters, the charitable hospital which are there, those things matter, those places matters. A government owned club or institution matters, because here they'll be determining whether these are actually the industries or not. Okay. um any questions till now? Moving on to the next one. Okay. So recently, the WhatsApp agrees to user data sharing preferences. Last time we had studied about the DPDP Act, if you might have known. So we have studied that as well. WhatsApp has been changing. WhatsApp, you might have seen their advertisement are also known as end-to-end encryption, right? So since 2021, WhatsApp suddenly asked you to agree to a new privacy policy, right? And you might have seen that these private privacy policies are different than what we used to use it in the earlier phase of WhatsApp, right? So what is WhatsApp? WhatsApp is an kind of an app. It's an application which is basically owned by Meta now, right? The parent company of the Facebook and Instagram. You might also see when you open Instagram, when you open WhatsApp, you see Meta, right? So these are the apps of the companies owned by Meta. So, as soon as Meta took over with respect to WhatsApp, the platform, they started with their own privacy policies, and user were given a stark choice: accept the new policy or lose access to WhatsApp. That was way back, right? So, in India, this caused an immediate backlash at the moment of time. Privacy of advocates raised concerns, and a number of other regulatory bodies where the data is very confidential and everything. And crucially, the competition commission of India, the CCI, took up the matter, right? So the CCI of India basically found that the policy update was anti-competitive because it was a take it or leave it option. They did not give it, okay, fine, even if you're not going to accept it, we'll be providing the access to the WhatsApp. No, they did not. They was like, okay, either you take it or either you leave it. And WhatsApp was used by 500 million users in India, right, at the moment of time also. So it has a very dominant market position right now. And using the dominance to force users to give up privacy rights was something which was not a good option to go ahead with. So what did CCI did? CCI ordered the WhatsApp to provide users with a genuine choice, that either you opt out of the data sharing with Meta platforms or either you opt in. Okay. So WhatsApp now agreed to comply. They have agreed to comply with the same, and they have said that Indian users can be given a preference. Okay, setting that allows them to opt out of cross platform data sharing. Also, if they don't want the WhatsApp data flowing to Facebook or Instagram, they can have that choice, right? The ruling is basically beyond WhatsApp here. It establishes a precedent in India that big tech companies cannot use their dominant market position to force users to sacrifice their privacy. So we have read about Article 21, and we know what our right to privacies are, and we have been using a number of AIs also these days, and we have all the rights to stop, ask them not to use our data, right? So this is all happened, and DPDP Act has also been amended recently. So these are the all things that you might see in the recent period, that there are a number of digital platforms which are with respect to the changes, right? Moving on, then we will talking about Supreme Court that clarifies Aadhaar is not proof of citizenship. So you wouldn't, you would also not be the alone person. It's one of the most common misconception in India that Aadhaar is so deeply embedded in daily life. We use it as an open bank account. We get SIM cards because of that. We file taxes because of that. We collect government benefits because of that. Then many people assume that this is our citizenship card, right? The Supreme Court has now said that it is not, and Supreme Court has clarified that Aadhaar is a proof of identity and residence, and it does not and cannot be served as proof of citizenship, right? And Aadhaar Act itself, when you will be reading the Aadhaar Act itself, there is an act also for Aadhaar. So their enrollment is available in residents of India, not just citizens. A foreign national living in India for more than 182 days can and is also entitled to get an Aadhaar. So possessing an Aadhaar simply means you were residing in India at the time of enrollment and your biometrics were used. Okay. It says nothing about your legal status as a citizenship. The context of this ruling is deeply important. Why? Because in recent years, we have been discussion around National Register of Citizens, the NRC, and the Citizenship Amendment Act, the CAA, have intensified. There have been cases where government authorities have demanded Aadhaar as evidence of citizenship. In some cases, people have faced challenges to their citizenship status despite holding an Aadhaar card. Right? Conversely, in some cases, you might see people have been using Aadhaar to falsely claim residential rights, benefiting themselves. The court ruling cuts both ways, right? It prevents Aadhaar from being wrongly used as a citizenship proof and prevents authorities from wrongly demanding it as such. So, what does the citizenship is? Citizenship is what are the proofs of citizenship then? So, a valid Indian passport is a very strong proof of citizenship. A birth certificate is, a citizenship certificate is, right? All these are the valid proof of your citizenship. So, All these are very important things that we were discussing, and this is the summary. You can see there were three news that we discussed. That is, Supreme Court refers industrial definition, the WhatsApp user data sharing preference agreed, and also Aadhaar card proof of citizenship clarified. I really hope you like the session. Do like the session, and we'll be meeting next time. Bye bye. Take care.